open
Right.
all day. It's we are so predictable right now because no defense is feeling threatened because our receivers are hurt. So we have to make them overthink, make
Mm-hmm.
them guess what we're going to do. And calling offense is the easiest thing to do because
Yeah.
you know what you're going to do, but the defense doesn't.
Right.
So I just don't get it, man. Like I said, you have too much talent on that offense, even with guys being hurt. You have too much talent to not even freaking score a touchdown. Shit.
Yeah.
All right. All right, just
Yeah.
are you ready with this?
Hey, yeah, as soon as you are, man, just let me
Oh
know.
yeah, I gotta see this shit, boy. This gonna crack me up, man.
Dear baby 8-pound, 11-ounce Jesus, please look out for Mike Gundy because even his farm animals know how dumb it is to not make any midseason moves. And although Mike Gundy's definitely not dumb, after this most recent interview, it does look like we should at least be somewhat concerned about a concussion.
I couldn't stop, dude. I was dying yesterday.
Dude, a
I was
farm
like,
animal gave him a
Yeah, bro.
concussion.
And who's to say how real it even is? Because I was pretty sure I saw
God.
he did his regular podcast thing that he did yesterday, and it didn't look like he had a swolled up eye or anything like that to me. It was just too much, man.
That shit was funny, man.
He's so full of shit, though.
Oh my God.
Come on, man. At some point, why? But you know what? It's their own fault there. They really believed that they were going to just walk in, and now that Oklahoma and Texas are gone, they were just going to run the Big 12. It's theirs now. Shit, you don't ever win it. I mean, they went into the Big 12 championship game a few years ago against Baylor, got their ass beat. Lost by 6 inches. Yeah, along with your 4 turnovers. Yeah, you lost by 6 inches.
No one wants to say that, Jason. I'm glad you said that. Damn the 6 inches. You had 4 freaking turnovers in that game.
Spencer throwing it in every tight window that wasn't there, Oh, it was the dumbest thing I'd ever seen. Dumbest thing I'd ever seen.
Thank you, South Texas. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
That Dr. Pepper height train he was on.
Hey.
I've been trying to come up with some kind of video that I wish I was as good as that Matt dude from the SEC Shorts guy. He's hilarious, man. The big guy.
I love this one. Hell, run the eye. Coaches today probably don't remember how to defend it.
Probably not. I mean, you
don't.
The thing is that look, what you need to do is go back to what they know, and the base. There's nobody that's here at Oklahoma as far as skill guys that doesn't know some element of the damn spread air raid.
Yeah,
Look. There's the reason that we've talked about, and you know how I've been about this, is the reason that Mike Leach damn sure deserves to be a Hall of Famer is because that man, and along with, obviously it's the brain trust of what's his name? Oh shit. Who was it? He was at Kentucky for all those years. Shit.
I can't remember, Jason.
Somebody say it. Come on. He's the starter. But anyway, him and Coach Leach are the ones that they changed the game.
You mean Monk?
No, he ended up at New Mexico State for a while too. It's I don't know why it's on the tip of my tongue too, and it's just not there. Hal Mummy. Thank you, Jimmy.
Hal Mummy, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hal Mummy.
Yeah.
Crazy ass Hal Mummy. But Hal was great. He was a good coach. He just always got in his ass in trouble. But I tell you, I don't care about your win percentage, man, because they changed the game of football like nobody else.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Like nobody else. I mean, there hasn't been as significant a change from Pee-wee football all the way up to the pros now. It's all got elements of the air raid in it.
Mm-hmm.
All of it.
We talk about the veer and shoot and stuff, and that's they've been trying to marry the veer and shoot. That's what they called the bear raid, which came from Art Briles.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a distant cousin to the air raid, but RPO based distant cousin is what I always thought of it as. It's not the same damn thing, but whatever it is that your bases, look, that RPO inside run game, that inside zone, even though it sucks, it never works. That's what you have to build it up. Hell, bring back the before I say this.
Don't bring the option.
No, I was about to say bring back the damn jet sweep, but you have to build off the jet sweep too. Yeah. Add in that little tight end pop pass with it, and to where you don't hand it off every once in a while and you throw deep on it, so
Well,
where they have to get out of the box.
If
That's
you
what I
run the-
never understood about Leb. I was like, why are you not doing anything else out of this? Throw something vertical into it.
If you run the jet sweep, please do it out of a 12 personnel.
Yeah.
So when they jump that damn route, the tight ends over the middle running free, ain't nobody gonna touch him because that
Perfect.
end or that middle linebacker or that safety, his first responsibility is that jet sweep guy. And then when he moves out the way, the tight end should be chopping to just go straight up the field, and it's right there.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Well,
mean-
me and Jason talked about this a couple of nights ago. Hell, we had a 2-hour conversation. But thank you, Charles. Crow flies high. I appreciate it, man. Much love to you too, brother.
Oh, man, dude, love that guy.
But if you remember, in that 2000 national championship year, there were 3 plays that Mark Mangino had in his ass pocket at any given moment. Now, we call it the jet sweep. Back then, it was called the in or out. And they run it with Josh Norman and Antoine Savage.
Oh, when the quarterback just turns around and hand the ball to the guy running in jet sweep?
Yeah, it's jet sweep, but back then we called it the end around.
Yeah.
And then the shovel pass to Quentin Griffin, that was always successful, and the bubble screen to Quentin Griffin.
Why do we stop running that? Because who used to run that real well? Sterling Sharp. Sterling used to run
Sterling
it.
Shepard.
Shep was the man at that.
Yeah.
But hold on. There's one more. Ryan Brawls.
Ryan Broyles.
too.
That
Yeah.
those two right there. Why don't we do that no more? When I see trips left and the safety is 10 yards back, the free safety is 10 yards back, and the middle linebacker is cheating in to cover the flat, hit that shit. You got 3 on 2 on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting 9 yards or 10 yards all day, every day. This is what I'm saying about do things that make sense. And I don't know if he's giving Michael the go ahead to change plays, but this is what I'll tell my quarterback to do. If you ever going to overrun a damn play I call, it better be a damn good one.
Mm-hmm.
It better be a damn good one. But I do give my quarterbacks the leeway that if you see something, you change it. But
Exactly.
It gotta be something that you see. It ain't just it don't be making that stuff up just because you want to run something different.
Exactly. Well, it was like last year, Coach, against BYU. Jackson Arnold called that audible because he didn't like what he seen and got the first down to seal the game to Jalil Farouk to win the game.
I mean, they were watching it in film and they were talking about that was the play all week.
Yeah. Hey, all I can say, man, is that we have to get back to the basics. We're trying to overthink shit. And these guys are making too much damn money to overthink things. Do the basic things to where Michael Hawkins don't have to think about so many progressions. Like
Right.
you just said, Mark Mangino had 3 plays in his back pocket. Michael Hawkins needs to have 3 plays, at least 2 in his back pocket to say, if shit goes sour or something goes wrong, these are what I'm going to run.
Mm-hmm.
And to answer somebody's question, no,
Stephen G,
Burks-
that is not
Burks
what
is not back this week.
Is that your mother on the chat, Jason?
it is. So it's mom.
Hey,
real
Mom.
quick, Stephen G. That's not what you do. That's not what you do. First off, J.A., the thought of him coming back is a pipe dream. I don't care what he's saying to BV or whoever. I know that's what he was saying. And I apologize again to Kimberly K from the other day. I didn't mean to sound like I was disagreeing with what you were saying, that he said it.
Mhm.
What I was getting at was that I don't think it matters what he says. He has a lot of incentive to play nice within the program right now because he's got a large NIL deal that if he leaves, he don't get the rest of it. And you never know. Plus, on top of that, and not to say anything bad about JFA because that's not what I'm doing. Also, look, you don't know. An injury can happen at any time, and he's right back in it. So it behooves him to play nice and not do the Spencer Rattler thing.
Yeah.
And do right by his teammates. And because, and also he's a team guy. So, but I would tell you that him coming back it's not going to happen. Now he may redshirt at the end of the year because he hadn't gotten in.
Yeah.
But as far as Casey goes, look, guys, one of the biggest issues that you've had, and if you talk about what Gabe Eicher was saying, he's been saying it all week, is that this offensive line, even at full strength, if that's what you want to call it, doesn't move people that well and isn't super athletic. So as far as like when they went to that sprint draw stuff that you got guys pulling, it's a bunch of new stuff, a lot of moving parts. It wasn't a great move. But even Michael didn't have time to get the ball off, and we hadn't seen him have that issue before.
Mm-mm.
You don't need slower dudes. And Casey's got 2 rebuilt knees.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I just don't see it. I don't see it. And I don't think none of these kids are here to redshirt. You're better off giving him the trial by fire in the SEC, going up against the best of the SEC the rest of the way.
Yep.
Than you are sitting his ass on the bench and saving him for next year. And again, that's not the right thing to do for that defense and those guys that came back there. You don't quit on this thing. That's how you lose recruits. I hate it. I'm not a fan of even thinking like that. And that's not what Oklahoma football teams do either. They don't give up on shit.
No.
And I don't want the full air raid back. I just want consistent play calling.
Yeah, that's what I want, Coach.
That's it. I mean, you can call it air raid, you can call it run raid, double raid, roach raid. I don't care what you call it, as long as it's consistent.
Look, it's changed. Look, there's evolutions to it all the time, and Lincoln's evolution to it was to run downhill in it. Yeah. And you see what with Heupel, he's kind of learned in both of them because he was there with he was there at UCF with Scott Frost. There's another really good coordinator. Wouldn't want him as a head coach, but I'd love to have him as a coordinator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is the veer is tough. The veer and shoots a little. It's just different. But right now, I don't know. I don't know why we would. I don't think you ever expect, because here's the thing. Brent Venables can't afford to give up anything either. You got to try to win every game you can win on the way out.
Yes.
And if you really want this team, these young guys, to get better, you got to keep them playing. And it may need, to steal from Sooner Cowboys at this point. Maybe you need to start bringing in guys like EPL and, Isaiah, Autry Dent, Isaiah Autry Dent, guys like that, that he's been killing. Akinkumi, he's been hurt, so I don't know if he's healthy or not. But and then you've got what's his name, Eugene Brooks, guy. I mean, look, these guys are at some point you're probably going to have to do it. I really, really, really want to see me some Ivan Carry-On.
Me too.
6'6" target is never a bad thing.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you another one. Devon Mitchell would be a bad person to have it right around now either.
I think with them having both tight ends right now, I think they don't want to do that, which they should. They can still play him and still redshirt him because he hasn't played no games yet.
Censoring? I don't censor nobody. What are you talking about? Charles Crowsfly, I am not censoring you, brother. You can say what you want. I'm just saying you don't save anybody.
No,
There's no point in it. It's just my opinion. You guys can say whatever you want. You guys can say whatever you want. I'm just giving you my opinion, and I'm just telling you what I don't see happening. Because you think Brent can afford to just mail it in for the rest of the year?
no,
Mm-mm.
no.
I
And he wouldn't
don't.
do that anyway.
Hell no, he wouldn't.
No.
Can I ask you guys a question?
What's up?
Let's like say we shit the bed this season. Just for sake of argument, Coach. I'm still with the negativity going on. I got to find some sunshine, and I say we're not going to crap the bed this year. But next year, let's like say we throw a clunker like we did this year. Does Brent start being questioned and his seat get hot?
You think if they go and mail it in for the rest of the year, it's cold? Because I don't. I think it's hot already just from losing.
I think it is too. Now here's what I'm thinking, and this is my opinion only. That let's like say we throw a clunker Saturday, and Seth's play calling is like it has been. If we lose Saturday and Seth ain't fired, we need to start questioning Joe C.
It's not on Joe C. Hey,
Well, not Joe C.
has full power to do everything. Joe C doesn't really have any control over anything.
That's true. That's true, Jason. I apologize.
Venables. I mean, he can do that, but that's the only.
I'm not saying get rid of Venables, but some people need to be called on the carpet.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. We have yet, and it's unfortunate. We have yet to see this team at full capacity.
Mm-mm.
And it would be a travesty to make a decision about. Now, what I can say is the play calling has been terrible.
Mm-hmm.
That's regardless of personnel or whatsoever.
The game plan was so bad last week. It was
and
not.
Jason, I apologize about the Joe C comment, brother.
No.
No.
I was just telling you that Joe C doesn't, unless he's going to fire Brent. It's not him. You got to pressure him.
No, he don't. But you ain't gonna have to, because Brent gonna do it.
Yeah.
I have enough understanding and gumption to think that BV really does have the pulse of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to do what's right. And sometimes, man, I hate to say this, I'll tell you guys, and the hardest part of being a coach, man, is that thank God I never had to fire nobody, because the AD did that.
Mm-hmm.
But to have to fire somebody, man, that you brought in, that you gave a job to, somehow, some way, that's going to make you feel like this clusterfuck is my fault, because I didn't take the time to go. Now, if BV would have went and found somebody new before Seth, and we had this problem, what would the concern in the saying be? Well, he had Seth, and he didn't even let him do it.
Right.
So I just think that sometimes, man, like Bob did, you have to go out and get somebody that's not affiliated with Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll have a better overall respect, because you know how big Oklahoma is for a team, for a coach like, let's just say from UNLV, or let's just say from Liberty. You know how important it would be to come to Oklahoma and be an OC?
Mm-hmm.
You can walk into any kid's house with that OU on your shirt, and you'll get the red carpet treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to highlight real quick Jacob Frank, what he just said. Great recruiter and teacher doing so. That culture, though, they believe in that, and I believe more. Look, that's what I've said this earlier, and I think that there's people that are you're thinking ahead a lot, and I get it, man. We're impatient at this point as Oklahoma fans, and I get it, man. I really do. And I would tell you that, I mean, we were talking about it Saturday night after the game. I'm on the way home and we're like, man, for having 2 weeks, this is what you throw out there.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I would have understood it if he demoted him or whatever. And I get that he's not going to. I understand that. But where we were talking about was that, you know, you got to find a way to kind of breathe life into this offense. Well, I think just as easy as what we've been saying is just again, if you listen to, you got to listen to what Gabe Eichert's talking about. I mean, this is a guy that knows, and offensive linemen get it, man. They just get it. And one of the smartest dudes that you listen talking about what they need to do. And it's always like this. So think about this, Coach. We were talking about this before. Mm-hmm. You have your base plays and everything stacks off of that, right?
Yep.
Everything stacks off of that. So I mean, to hear Gabe Eichert say the inside zone was that they didn't run it at all. And he was like, what the fuck? And he hates the play. He thinks it's stupid that that's their big thing, but they've been doing it for 3 years. You know that you could do that. And they actually ran the ball pretty well last week and just didn't stick with it. You know?
Yeah.
Oh man, no. Don't call him mine.
Did you see Ryman Lemon's comment?
Yeah, I don't want the job. I'm good. but seriously, I would tell you that you could, if you stack these guys, you stack what you know, and just let's simplify it and get down to, let's start off with 5 plays this week. Run it out of a few different sets, a few different looks, go up to 10 next week, and make sure, I mean, run the shit so many times that they can't get it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Charles, you from my old stomping ground.
That's all. What not to give it away, if you guys haven't watched Barry and Mac, and they've got one of their new In the Weeds videos that they were kind of going through some of that, and he makes you remember a lot of this stuff. He was talking about how Billy had made a mistake, and this is what Venables had to have been talking about, was when you have that long run that turned into the fumble at the end, but then they recovered it in the end zone, that Billy didn't keep his inside leverage as a safety, and that's why he crossed his face.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, I remember that. You know what I mean? Just, it's one of those deals that you want to try to get that. You want to try to have them be outside of you so that you get the middle of the field. Because if they keep that inside leverage, you can't go left or right. They're gonna get you. The tackle's gonna be. That's why he missed the tackle there. And it was just like, man, that makes sense. Made a lot of sense, right? But he keeps talking about, you build off of that, you build off of that, you build off of that. No, you guys, come on, man. That's silly talk.
Look, regardless of if that's who Brent wants, Josie is not letting his ass come back.
You think Lincoln has the stones to ever come back to Norman?
No.
Tell you, he don't want to play the SEC at all. He ain't ever gonna step foot back in Norman, Oklahoma.
Hey, Sooner Cowboys, I got another question for you about that Lincoln deal. Howard Schnellenberger never came back to Norman after his clunker. He went his first year.
Oh, that sucker shouldn't have made it past day one, man. That was wild.
What he said when he got off the freaking airport off the airplane at the airport, we should have lynched him then. You remember that, Coach?
Yep.
When he said they're going to write books about me and they'll forget about Barry Switzer and Bud Wilkinson.
He wrote it in pencil.
Yeah.
So you can erase everything.
That's where I got my daddy saying drinking his own bathwater, because that's what my daddy said when they was interviewing. He said that's SOB is drinking his own bathwater.
Hey, Charles. Yeah, man, that'd be cool. I want to meet.
Yeah. I'd like to meet all of y'all too, guys.
I was stationed in Fort Sill for like 6
God bless
years,
you. God bless you.
It was like 100 days. Well, no, don't tell that lie. About 60 days. About 60 days, 3-digit. And the reason why I left Fort Sill, and this is no lie, it was snowing, it was raining, and it was sunny.
Yeah.
So, Omen, get your ass out of Oklahoma.
I spent my Army time at Fort Benning.
Jump school.
Yep. I was with the 3rd of the 75th Rangers, so that's where our home was, and that's where when I went to Korea, when I come down on levee to go back to the States, I said, thank God, finally going to leave Fort Benning and go somewhere else. Nope. Fort Benning, Georgia.
I was at headquarters and headquarters batteries, 212 Brigade. I was an officer, so I didn't do nothing. I drove around the colonel all day, so that was my job.
Jason's a vet too.
Mhm.
Thank you for your service,
Thank
Jason.
you, but hey, all three of us
Thank
on
you
here
guys
doing the same thing,
man.
man.
Hell yeah. Hey, do what you got to do.
If
Glad
I-
those days are over, though. Glad those days are over.
Me
Wow.
too.
If I was just smart, and done 6 more years, I'd have been good. I've been good. I got tired of getting my ass up every morning at 6 a.m, running 2 or 3 miles every single damn day, doing CQ all night. I mean,
Oh my God.
I had a terrible base commander. He was a piece of shit. I'm sorry.
They're
Jason, here's another proposition I got for you guys, and I was thinking about this today. We keep talking about Brennan Marion at UNLV.
I like Brennan.
I do too. If I'm ever who's ever in charge of finding these people, I would be approaching Brennan Marion at the end of the season with an open checkbook and say, name your price.
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't?
Don't get mad at me, Jason. Don't backhand me. I saw you. Okay, you saluting.
No,
No, we're not. We're not.
You gonna backsnap me?
Crow.
He's saluting.
4 times
Okay.
to Iraq and one in Afghanistan.
Let me see.
In those places.
Let me see. Where is it at? There it is.
My man.
There we go.
Yeah.
Man, I salute
Thank you
on
for
that
your
one, man.
service, Charles Crow Flies High.
Absolutely.
I did Desert Storm, and then that was it. And then I came back, and that was it for me.
I did Desert Shield, Desert Storm, and Somalia.
Oof.
Excuse me.
I was a little after that. I was a little
Oh,
after.
was you?
Mhm.
Oh,
And
but,
that Somalia was very hairy. That's all I'm
Now-
going to say about that.
so Marion.
Hey
is
man,
with-
this guy could freaking knock a hair off of your mole, man, from 1,000 yards away.
you know
Mike.
You know what I was
Yeah.
good at? I wasn't really good at marksmanship, but I was damn good at hand-to-hand combat. And he was like, how come a country boy from Spiro, Oklahoma can't shoot a damn gun? But you can you can fight with those 2 hands of yours.
Hey,
He said,
that
A
works too.
Spyro is a fighting town.
hey, boy, look, don't get me
That's
started
why,
on that.
that's why they give us automatic weapons. Not everybody's a sniper, man. They give you an automatic weapon so you ain't got to be that accurate.
Let me tell you something. When I'd go down to Granny and Pawpaw's in the summertime down at Clayton, when we'd go to Spyro, I was pretty ornery back in them days. But when we went to Spyro, I was a good boy. I didn't pop my little mouth.
You can't come to Spiro talking that crazy stuff.
You don't want to talk your ish in Spyro.
Because Jason, check this out. There might be, let's say, 2,000 people in Spyro.
Mhm.
Probably 1,500 of them are cousins. So when you fight one,
You fight them all.
you got to fight everybody.
Well,
So
hell,
they
half
al- So they
half
always say, don't
You
cross that
Rangers
bridge.
are bad dudes, man. You Rangers are bad dudes, though. Oof.
Hey, my one of my best friend, man, he's a ranger out in Fort Liberty that used
Oh,
to
yeah.
be called Fort Bragg. And
Yeah.
man, he's a major.
Fort
So-
Scary spot around Fort Bragg, man.
Huh?
Sketchy around Fort Bragg, man.
Oh yeah, Fayetteville. Oh yeah. Oh
Fade
yeah.
on.
Hey, hey, but he's there, and he was like, man, it's changed so much now because everything now is more. They try to handle it peacefully, and they want to,
Mhm.
all this, do it at the executive, to where now all the Delta guys and all the Marines and all the Berets and everything, they were like, hey, we ready to go. Shit, let's go.
Let's go kick some ass.
But they don't want to do it no more, man. So, I mean, things have changed. So, but back on my point, I don't want to get too lost.
Yeah.
You guys like Marion.
Yeah.
I like Scott Frost.
He's not my number one, right? He's not my number
I
one.
like Scott Frost too, Coach.
I like
I really
Scott,
do.
but my number one's Tim Beck right now.
I like Tim Beck too. But the
Yeah.
reason why I like Scott Frost, because you'll have a quarterbacks coach and you'll
Yep.
have an OC.
Yep.
And who was the best at Nebraska other than Eric Crouch? So
Damn right. Yeah.
I think Scott Frost and everything. I mean, and with them being a blue blood, I think that they might get him. But I wouldn't be. I mean, Tim Beck, I think he has something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
I
Tim
really
Beck
do.
has been great. He was great at New Mexico State. He's been great at Vanderbilt, and he's not married to any system necessarily. But Jesse's talking about Brendan Marion. Feels like back in the day with Leach, just kickstart the offense. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. I like Brendan, and I think that Brendan. I don't know how long you get to keep Brendan around.
Yeah. He'd be like a one and done and be a head coach
Maybe
somewhere.
not a one and done, but it wouldn't probably take long, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we know who's not going nowhere. Zach Alley ain't going nowhere.
Mm-mm.
He loved Brent too much. He loved Brent too much.
Dude, I think he gets a head coaching job before too long too. If you he's young, he's dynamic, the players love him.
He's gonna do what Brent did. He's not gonna leave unless it's the right situation.
Well, you don't think the right situation will come along quick for a guy like that when he's immediately stepping in and doing very, very well? And he did very well with Rich Rod at Jacksonville State. Before that at Monroe, and then he was the special teams coordinator at Boise State. For as young as he is,
true,
he's got a hell of a resume today.
I just think that he loves Brent too much to go, and I think that he wants to follow him in BV's footsteps so bad. I don't see none of these guys really leaving on defense. Do you guys? Do you guys see anybody on defense leaving?
No, I don't. Other than the ones that are.
Zach. I think Zach. Maybe you get to keep him for 4 or 5 years, maybe, but I don't know. I think it depends on. Well, I think it depends on what happens here in the next year or two. Because I'll tell you this: they've got to figure the offensive side out. We know they've got the defensive side, but right now it feels like they traded one
for the other.
One for the other, and it just, a liability. And to the point, like, hey, man, you know what I said all off season and even early into the season was I wasn't worried about the OU offense. Well, I'm worried about the OU offense. It's concerning.
Me too, Jason.
I don't think that it's the end of the world. I think it can be fixed. But here's my one thing that I would say. This is the only thing that I'm going to say about BV is that I want to see him get away from the defense and let his guys handle that. Because what they need from you is for you to take that, how focused and how, very, it's meticulous. And I mean, the game plan is very focused on defense. You need to focus it on the other side too. Get over there and apply what you do as a coordinator, and let's build some plays that will work against this defense at South Carolina. Because hey, newsflash, they're really, really good on the D line, and they're deep on the D line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Richard, you crazy, man.
Richard is crazy. I loved it. He said what he just said. Yeah.
They asked an Air Force vet if he was jealous because of
if I could fly that F-22 there, I wouldn't do anything else, man.
I fly jets.
Oh, brother.
Well, see, my stepdad, man, he was upset when I went to the Army because he was in the Air Force.
Yeah.
And he was Master Chief, and he was like, "What the hell you doing going to the Army?"
Chief Master Sergeant?
Master Chief.
In the Air Force is the Chief Master Sergeant.
Yeah. So he was upset that I went to the Army.
Yeah, I'm sure he was.
But I went in.
What are you doing, grunting?
Well, I was told that I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And that's why I did it. I was told that
Mhm.
I wasn't going to do it. I was going to wash out, that I was going to be ate up, that I was going to do all this. I went in there and I was platoon sergeant in basic. I was platoon guide and sergeant in AIT, and then went to West Point and everything, and then came out and then was stationed in Fort Bragg for a while, Fort Benning, Georgia, then Fort Sill, then funky ass Fort Hood, uh, Fort Hood, Texas. That's where it's hot at. That's where
Yeah.
it's hot at. Oh my, talking about a dry heat. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So, but I th- I think Zach's going to stay. I think I already know that nobody else from Clemson, they're not going to leave. Bates, he ain't going nowhere.
What
I
about
mean,
Jay Valai?
No, I think Jake Bly's happy. I think Brandon Hall's happy. I think they all
I don't
happy.
think-
Man,
yeah.
I like B Hall and Jay Valai.
I don't
B
think
Hall
anybody-
is a alumni. He ain't going nowhere.
Mhm.
They're not going anywhere.
And but you gotta look at their families, man. They family, they have young kids.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna want to.
That's what they've been talking about a lot too. Is that they look, a lot of what you're seeing here. This is they're all like, you look at Chavis, you know, when they took him under his wing, he found God while he was there at Clemson. You know what I mean? And this is all of them. Hey, man,
I love me some.
everything that they're doing right now there, right? Everything that they're doing right now there, the soul mission and all that kind of stuff. They're all in it together on this stuff, man. There's nobody that doesn't fit into that part of it, and that includes Seth and Joe John and everybody else we're trying to dump out of here right now.
I
Mhm.
think that we do need to get rid of some of the offensive coaches that's been there.
Yeah.
But I think that Coach B, he ain't going nowhere. BB, he ain't going nowhere.
Mm-mm.
I don't see.
I can see
Even though-
going back to Bama at some point, but I think it'll be when he's going to go back as a coordinator or whatever like that, and get to. It's Alabama, man. That's where he went to school. It's where he
I got a funny question.
Okay.
Now that Nick Saban's gone, who's going to be the next rehab program for rehabilitating shitty coaches?
Well, it has to be one of these guys that's going to have to replace him. And right now, it looks like I don't know. Georgia's probably the next one on that list, or either that or Dabo, because you lose these guys. You start losing these guys. This is when you find out how really good Kirby Smart is, right?
Uh-huh.
Because now he's starting to have to go through what Saban was going through and having to replace coaches. You know,
Exactly.
the rehab program wasn't just because he was being a nice guy.
No,
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It wasn't just that. It was because he needed good coaches and they had lost their jobs. And I mean, hey, you get a chance to go win there, and I tell you, you think about guys like Mike Locksley. I mean, you think, well, what has he done? Well, Maryland is usually pretty trash until Mike Locksley got there.
Yeah.
They win a lot more football games than they used to. And it's not a place that they're going to fire you tomorrow either.
No.
But a lot of those guys, Charles.
Dude, Charles funny, man. Charles
don't be, yeah. We said that before the military, though, right? Yeah, just don't be a pussy. Pretty much.
But
look, I just think that in the end, I love where they're at, but I don't think that you can approach this thing as if you have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that you do. And I mean, think about this. We're talking about a fan base that expects right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for better or worse, this is what makes the fan base great. It's what makes Oklahoma great, is because the standard is the standard. And I think that it also hurts a little bit, because for better or worse, those recruits and their families, they see that shit.
Yeah.
They see that shit. And I mean, some people can't handle it. Some people will never be able to handle it. It's the same at other places. By the way, Alabama is no different.
No.
Right now, they're acting the same way at Georgia. and they've lost one football game, and to the team that they always lose to, Bama.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that it's only at OU. I'm just saying it's wild. But
Everywhere.
some people, I think you have to realize that you can flip. I don't think it's as big a turnaround as what we think it may be, and they're going to go and get somebody that fits. The hope is that they could get back to square one, and for the sake of Seth, I'd love to see him flip it around. I don't know that I believe in it, but I'd love to see him do it. A lot of those, we're not thinking about these injuries and the fact that these kids are having to develop quicker than you expected them to.
Yeah.
But if I have a big problem with any of the coaching staff, to me right now, my biggest problem on this offensive coaching staff is probably DeMarco.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to be real.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, aside from Taylor Tatum, who doesn't always appear to know what he's doing when he's out there but he's brand new as well. But I got to say, which one of these guys is a Oklahoma running back? We don't know about Caleb Hicks because we don't ever see him.
No.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know about, X-Rob. I think he's going to be real good, but we don't ever see him either.
No.
And the thing is I don't know why they went and got Sam, because that guy put up 1,500 yards last year at Middle Tennessee or wherever he was at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's never on the field either, and I don't get that. Tawi, he never kept him in the game last year. Now he's killing it at freaking Wisconsin. 8 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. Fuck is going on?
I love Ryman Lemon.
Charlie Foxtrot.
Charlie Foxtrot.
Crazy as hell. Man, we got these military on lock tonight, man. Everybody is all the veterans coming out and just saying, fuck it, we just gonna talk crazy tonight. I love it, man. I love it.
Turn my hat around backwards for this one.
Hey, we got Coach Ricks is 5 subs away from 100 from his first hundo.
I'm gonna get there, man.
Oh yeah, you're going to
make sure y'all jump over to.
I love it.
At Coach Ricks. Just put in at Coach Ricks. Go to his channel. It's in there in the comments as well. Go to Coach Ricks's channel. Make sure that you get in there and sub.
Also, let's get Jason to his 4,000 subs.
25 away on that one, bro.
Let's get Jason up there too. Big dog.
I appreciate it. It'd be nice. It would be nice. We're 25 away, man. I was hoping we'd hit it a little earlier, but I'm happy whenever we get there. And I just appreciate everybody that always follows us and shows up when we turn on the button, man. It's always fun, man. Always have a blast.
Man, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
I'm trying to push your channel too, Coach Rich.
Oh man, like I said, we're gonna have you on here a lot more often, man. Because I told my wife I want to start something at least once a week to where it's us three. I don't care if it's 30 minutes, just to do something to make it. I don't want to create another channel. I just want to either Jason's or either yours from the legend. It don't matter. Just to jump on one time a week and just do something there. Because like I said, there's only so many guys that I like to jump on. Jason's one and everything. Yours is one. There's another guy that I jump on his here in Charlotte. And I don't get on that much, man, because I don't want to be on here every single day, but I do want to bring some. Hold on. That's crazy as hell, boy. Hold on. You do.
Hey, man, y'all don't forget that Kimberly K's in the chat. All right.
I know. Yeah. Y'all better keep it PG, man.
Keep it PG. The first lady's in the chat now.
You put up with quite a bit, Kimberly K can. Yeah. But let's not take it too far.
Hey, I like this one. Hit the like button, or you will have to sing the Missouri fight song. It won't be much. It won't be much.
I got a question for you. You guys think that Missouri wins that game against Auburn this week? It
No,
feels like
Auburn's gonna win.
a touchy game for Mizzou.
I think Auburn's going to win, man. I think Auburn is in the right position to win with that running back. Missouri cannot stop a running back. And I think Auburn has doubly the best running back in the SEC.
They don't give him the damn football, though.
They don't give him the ball enough. Feed his ass, man. I mean, damn. I mean, but that's I don't think Missouri. I think Missouri finally got figured out by Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jason.
I didn't
your
say
mom is in
nothing. Why am I bad? I didn't say
He said y'all are bad. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm
my
keeping
mom
it.
knows how
I'm
I
keeping it
am. My mom's
PG-13.
well aware of how I am, but well aware. Well, she
Shit
kissed
like-
me.
Yeah. There you go, Charles. Auburn all the way. Yeah.
I think they can, and I it feels like, man, I didn't love the way when it comes to Missouri, I didn't love the way that it felt like they quit in that game against A&M, man. Like just quit.
Yeah.
And for all that shit you talk, you can't do that.
Where's the game?
Whenever
at?
it's just getting tough, you know.
Is it in Missouri or is it in
It was at A&M, but I mean, they'd started all that stuff about the blanket and all that, so they were acting like that the DB sent it.
Oh no, I'm talking about
the Auburn
Missouri
game.
and Auburn.
Yes, it's in Columbia. Mhm.
Yeah, it's in
Yeah,
Columbia.
they'll lose. They'll lose. They'll lose. They'll lose.
I agree with Jason on that blanket deal. I think that was a drink kind of thing.
I've heard that. I think Shear was saying that wasn't real.
Hey, Ryman, you're on fire tonight.
Why are you taking shots at me there, Ryman? Firing shots at me, man. About to
Lay
put
the
this-
parade line in the rain.
You had to put
Mark the
Ryman Leonard
parade
in
line
timeout
in the
for all- of all
rain.
people.
God, dog.
Missouri wins big, Jacob Frank says. So we got one for Missouri.
What?
Yeah, that won the DB. Richard said that won the DB. No. It just seemed a little. I mean, you get to thinking about it. I don't remember who was saying it. It was like, no way. Think about it. You're not gonna know what room that kid's in
Yeah.
or any of that kind of stuff, whether it's Theo or I mean, if anybody's gonna know anybody's room, it ain't gonna be Luther Burden or Theo Weiss.
Exactly.
You
Charles, I can't put that up there, man. I'm sorry. I can't put that up there.
know?
I can't put that up there. I'll get. I think my wife is in the room. I
He
can't put
said,
that up
don't
there.
censor him earlier. He was telling me I was censoring, so I ain't saying nothing.
We can't put that up there.
They ain't firing yet and still 5-1. Hey, look. Well, we know what kind of schedule they played too there, Rich. But look, the problem with them, though, I'm telling you, you just saw a different look on their face when it started going the other way. Right?
Well, I'm saying they're finally getting to the meat and potatoes of their schedule.
Yeah.
So they're gonna start taking some L's and everything. And
They've got Bama this year, but they don't have to play. The blanket killed them. Yeah, I think that backfired on them, right?
Let me see.
Because Theo came walking into the damn stadium wearing the thing.
Uh-huh.
Weird. It was so weird. And not sure OU's issue is the OC. Seems to me the recruiting is way down. It's not true. That's not true, C. John. They've recruited in the top 10. He's recruited better than Lincoln every year since he's been there. They were 8th last year, 4th the year before that, and 8th the year before that. They're recruiting in the same area as what Texas is recruiting in. It's not that. Look, injuries have a lot to do with it. But right now, I don't think it's necessarily just the OC either. I think injuries did not help any of this, but I think that you stop getting passes being the injuries. How do you say it's player development when it's injuries, though? I don't. Because you got to look at the receivers from last year. You had a bunch of guys that were contributing. You're going to tell me Jaden Gibson wasn't being developed because he went from not being able to catch a cold to the biggest dog in that receiver room. They lost him before the season ever started.
Right.
We haven't seen Nick Anderson. He had 37 catches a year ago, 10 of them for touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those 50-50 guys that you're not going to win the 50-50 battle with a guy like that.
Jaleel Farouk.
Jaleel has been he's gotten better every year.
Yeah.
Yes, they look, man. When it comes to the receiving core, that shouldn't be what we're worried about aside from the injuries. You got to go through that, and that's just where it is.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some kind of division in the locker room? I don't feel like there necessarily is. I could understand if it was. If you want to throw that super chat up there. Thank you, Mr. Dilligaff. Does anyone think that there could be a division in the locker room because of the offensive woes? I've been in those situations. It was super passive aggressive. Look, I think things do fester like that. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. It can get that way.
Mm-hmm.
If it was Lincoln still there, I would say definitely.
Oh, for sure.
But I think you have great coaching.
Well, and
in
on
the
top of
locker
that,
room.
you got a little bit of, it's a competition between sides of the ball too. I mean, let's not get the best football teams. They love each other, but they don't always like each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're battling, and I don't know, man. I also think that they're all in it together, and they want to be great for each other. And I believe that the offense, they should love the hell out of this defense. So I don't think it's going one way. I think if it is, it's one way. But I also think that your leadership on the defense isn't the type to be passive aggressive. They'll say what they want to say.
Right.
But listen, what did we hear from Danny Stutzman this week? We're 4-2, not 2-4.
Yeah. And also they had a team meeting. And they had a team meeting of players on their own.
Think about that.
Yeah.
That's not so they can go in there. This is not the kid that's going to go in there and throw the offensive guys under the bus. You didn't hear them doing that crap after the Red River. And since when do you hear Billy Bowman? Billy Bowman doesn't sugarcoat shit.
No.
He says what he thinks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Missouri gonna have at least 4 more losses. At least 4 more.
Recruiting so high, then why does Sexton and Taylor suck? They've been injured. Ozeta and Howland, they're redshirt freshmen.
Joey Everett's been hurt.
Injuries is what I mean.
Injuries
that's what I'm saying, man. You don't know what this team really.
Injuries, man. Unprecedented injuries.
They were laughing about that on College Game Day, to where they had 11 guys out, and they've not had a single lineup be consistent for 2 weeks or more. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know football the way I think I know football.
Look, sometimes it could be easy. I mean, I'm not telling you that I love their offensive coordinator situation. I think if you're doing 2, you're not doing. And if I really hate what they're doing, it's because it's hard to take up for anything after it's hard to take up for them whenever that was the game plan they came up with 2 weeks to do it. Now, aside from that, I would tell you that it's really, I'm trying to get back on the right side of my own, temper flare-ups kind of stuff with this thing, because I love it as much as you guys do.
Yeah.
But I'll say that sometimes you don't have to overthink it.
Yep.
Injuries turned into what this is. And look, guys, which person in here thought that these guys couldn't play before the season? Because you know better than that. That's not the case.
Yeah.
They're good. Hey, listen, I'll tell you this. Coach Dent, Isaiah Autry-Dent's dad, he's been on the show with us. He's always, we've been talking a lot the last few days. He came on with me and Big Mike Boganowski. And he'll tell you that, wait, the 24K class is still going to be that.
Oh, yeah.
And think about that. Think about it for just a second. You've got a bunch of freshmen that are making contributions this year, and we're expecting them to be all playing like 4th-year seniors, 5th-year seniors. Come on now.
No.
Yeah.
It's one thing if you got one guy. If it's one thing if you got a few. There's a bunch of guys that are having to make contributions.
Yeah.
And guess what? Eli Bowen, another 3-star, that he was the
Stud.
best guy on the field on defense last week.
Stud.
Straight up stud.
Stud.
He wasn't a 5-star. He's a 3-star. Michael Boganowski Jr. Think about Mike Boganowski. Man, this guy, Teddy Lehman called him the best safety he's ever seen at Oklahoma. And he
Missile.
played with Roy.
Mike
That's a
Boganowski.
big
He's a
statement,
missile.
man. That is a huge statement.
He's a missile waiting to happen.
Oh,
And I'm not saying this because Big Mike's on my show every.
Shit.
I'm not saying this because Big Mike's on our Mike and Mike on Mondays, but I love Boganowski Jr.
Man. Senior, they're awesome people, man.
When he pancaked that big 300-pound Auburn
Reggie Powers
lineman.
is another one of those freshman guys that you know will make a big impact.
Yeah.
Why are they not playing a ton? Well, because you've got really good safeties, 3 really good safeties that are playing great still. Peyton Bowen's doing his thing. You know, he's just quietly doing it. You know, he makes a lot of plays, and they're just, but it's almost to the point where it's just what you expect out of Peyton. RSJ has been unbelievably good. And Billy, I mean, he's over there taking on the big dudes and making big hits. It's really good.
That damn Charles or something else, boy.
Yeah, he is. What do you say now? What you got?
I'm single, coach. I understand you got to get that.
Hey, man. I'm single. I get it. I think it will get. Look, think about that, guys. And that's why aren't we seeing those guys? Well, probably because they are saving them a little bit. I don't know what we're saving them for. I mean, a rainy day is here. So,
yeah.
Think about it like this, guys. The schedule flips next year. And not to say that this year the schedule isn't or wasn't winnable. It's just that next year we're going to have pretty much, I'm not going to say an easier path, but not a harder path like this year. Let me see.
I don't disagree with what Jimmy says right here.
I
think Jimmy, you were onto something there. Me and Legend were talking about that yesterday.
Yep,
he can play corner anytime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I always go back to the spring game last year when he's running step for step with Andrell Anthony, one of the fastest guys in the country, gets his head around and makes the pick on a perfectly thrown ball.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Schedule stays the same next year. It gets harder for Oklahoma. Yeah, because well, not necessarily harder.
It won't get. It won't. You're
no
playing
LSU on the road. No, but you get Bama on the road.
Bama on the road.
Yeah, we got to go to Brand.
Bama is the hardest when you on the
road. You got to go to
Tennessee.
Willie B. You got to go to the Willie B next year, and that's a hard place to play. I don't give a shit who you are. South Carolina makes it hard there.
Oh yeah, I'll be at that one. That's for sure.
And then, but you'll get Ole Miss and LSU at the Palace.
We go to Rocky Top.
On the road to Tennessee.
You go to Tennessee, and you go to Alabama, and you go to South Carolina. Yeah.
The non-con, they have Michigan next year in the non-con.
Yeah, we do. The second or third game, we got Michigan.
Yeah.
But we got them at the Palace.
Next year at the Palace?
Yeah, next year at the Palace.
Yeah. And we got Missouri at home. That'll be a good one.
Got Missouri at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Dilly, the thing about that is, why are we doing that instead of putting in a guy like 6'6" Ivan Carry-On?
I think we need you, man. I think we need you.
And look, I think Jacoby Johnson might be the best athlete on the team, or right up there with them.
I'm going to say this as a joke, but it does make sense. I wish the prison guards in maximum security prisons that have prisoners that are, not convicted hardcore, give them a day furlough once a year to let them play college football.
Man, you would have the bad news bears. you would have, hey, you can't do that. You know how
Yeah, man. Hey, that's
terrified
just
some of the
that
players
little-
would be.
that Adam Sandler movie.
The longest yard.
Yeah.
You would have terrified kids playing grown men, man. That'd be terrifying, man.
Well, there
Oh,
are 18-year-old kids in prison, Coach.
Yeah, I think it is a tougher. It may be a little tougher schedule, but I don't know, man. Anytime you got to go on the road to the Grove, to Auburn in the same year, and to LSU,
Yeah.
and then Missouri's been playing really well at home the last few years.
Yeah.
I do believe that they've talked themselves right into an ass whipping in that game.
Yeah.
That's one thing. You better not give up on that one. No. Mm-mm. You can't give up. Then this is the thing. This is Oklahoma.
This is.
No matter how bad it is, you got to find a way. You don't quit on nothing. And the coaching staff can't afford to. You just can't afford to, man. Got to get tough.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Graham. Look,
No.
there's help coming along. And look, there's guys coming in this next recruiting class, but the 24-karat class, think about this. Stoney's another year in. You're going to probably see an awful lot more of guys like, hey, think about this. That on that power line is going to be a lot of guys on the power line there.
Dude,
Danny
it's gonna be-
Okoye.
Danny Okoye and Nigel Smith.
it's gonna
And,
be-
you know,
it's gonna be some
bro.
dude. That's what I'm saying. It's still not over. We still have
No.
a lot to play for. If we can just get some consistent play calling and get some receivers back, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll be back to where we thought we were going to be. But not having the receivers damn.
That's hurting.
Five.
That's hurting.
It is hard, but it's also, you can look at it as a silver lining though, because these guys better be battle tested by
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
This time next year. This is how you get.
Yeah.
You need reps to develop. It's hard to get reps. And unless you're the guy. So you got to make good on your opportunities. I think that I'd love to see them use these tight ends more, but I'd really like to see Devon Mitchell. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
They say he was practice team player of the week a couple of weeks ago or whatever. Well, shit, get him in the game. He's 6'5".
Yeah.
Looks like Jermaine Gresham to me. Come on.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Let's see it. Again, what are we missing out on? Much better than Williams. Yes. You're right, Jesse. That a boy.
Now I will tell y'all this about that 24K class. And I told Jason last night I watched him 2 games this year out of Weatherford, Oklahoma. CJ Nixon. This dude is all of that and a bag of potato chips with a sandwich.
And they're adding more to that next year, man. They're adding more. Think about the running back you got coming in next year to pair with Taylor Tatum. Think about that receiving core. That's look. You know, we were talking about if they do have to make a change at coordinator, and they do have to switch, give this order. Hey, who wouldn't want to come and coach this team?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to come and coach these kids? With any of the quarterbacks in the room. Think about it. You got Sperry coming in here next year too with him.
Yeah, got Sperry coming
Dude,
in.
it's gonna-
Cortland
And
Guillory.
that guy can rip it, man. Rip it.
I seen him
Brent
when he
has
hit the
been-
Carl Albert.
Yeah. Well, Brent came in and did exactly what he said he was going to do. He to me, he made Oklahoma more whole than Lincoln did. Lincoln only had one side that was real good. If we can just get the play, all that we're missing right now, honestly, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Only thing that we're missing right now is an OC hire.
Well,
A great
Yeah, that's
OC
all we're missing that
again,
on.
this is on this. That's what I was saying. It's on BV though. On that one, you know, you made that choice, and now I think that's the next step for Brent Venables. Is that look? It's a learning curve. You know, it's a learning curve to be a head coach. You went from being a coordinator to a head coach. Think about that.
Yeah.
But you have to. I know you're probably tired of hearing this one, but I've said it, man. When you become the head chef, you don't get to blame anybody else whenever the dessert gives somebody food poisoning
Yep.
in your restaurant.
Yeah.
It's on you. Whether
On you.
you made the dessert or not, it's your ass.
Yeah.
So get in there and get your hands in it too. Because there's something that a guy with as much knowledge as BV does about his defense is he knows what's going to work and how it would work. Get in there, man, and take control. I think that's his next steps, and we got to see that from him. And I think that's the questions that you have about him is, does he have control of the whole ship?
Yeah,
We need to see it, man. We need to see it.
I agree, brother.
Well, hey guys, I'm about to get up out here, man. We've been going for 2 hours, and it is
gotta get-
9 minutes before midnight my time.
Woo! Man, that was fast.
Hey man, it's fun when you have fun with your boys.
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything, man. Time
right.
goes by real fast. And
Yeah.
that's
Back
why
in
I
a few
say,
hours. I'll be back in a few hours. 8:15 in the morning, 10:15 Eastern time in the morning for Rise and Shine college football.
boy, you dedicated. I'll be
right.
in the budget meeting about that time. Be in the budget meeting. But thank you guys, man, for jumping on, man, helping me do this podcast, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh, Coach. Beard.
Sooner Legend, man, I'm definitely going to save your email now, man, because I
Okay.
need to, I'm gonna send you some things sometimes, and like I send Jason. But Jason, I'll try to jump on tomorrow with you, man, if I can, if I'm out of that meeting.
Yeah, okay. That'll work.
Somebody said, Jason, did you get my picks?
Yep. I was just looking at them right now. We'll talk about them in the morning, so make sure that you're in there as well.
Right.
I'll have Legend on with me. I need to get a hold of Rooster. I was trying to get Stat to come on. I know he'll be watching, but we'll try to get old Rooster from he's a South Carolina guy too. Know that he's funny, man. I know a lot of Oklahoma fans got on his ass early in the year, but man, we need to talk a little bit about they've got a nice football team. I'm gonna tell you that on that defensive side, which is not gonna be a walkover. They're gonna have to go. What they need to do is they got to make sure that they make them play beamer ball, which is turn the football over. That's what they do. So
Yep.
Yep.
Hey,
all
Coach,
right,
can I give a
having me on, my man? Appreciate you.
Yeah.
What's up?
Can I give a quick shout out?
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
Thanks to all of my subscribers, we just hit 525 on this
Boom.
live chat.
Boom.
So
That's what I'm talking about.
now,
Spread the love. Spread the love.
now, can my people, the same that y'all should, most of y'all are Jason's people in my subs, do the same for Coach Rick.
I appreciate
Get
it.
him.
I appreciate it. Much love.
Let's get him up.
23 away here on my side too, man.
Let's
4,000
get Nation to his 4,000.
3 away.
And then at 4K, at 4 karat gold.
Man, it'll be awesome stuff. It's cool, man. We've been doing this we've been just over 2 years. So we were averaging about 500 about 1,000 every 6 months. So,
and I started in January.
That's good, man. See, in January, and you're already at 500. That's what I'm talking about. I've been going about 2 months, 2.5 months. So I'm
You're
almost
going
there.
about the same. You're going about the same pace I was, Coach. Because when I started, I mean, it was like it didn't take me. Bam.
Just caught Ryman Lemon's ass talking that shit. Had to get him. It was just a minute long, but had to catch that. He'd been asking for it, begging for it.
The
Well,
Coach,
man,
you've got an awesome show.
hey man, I did my emails and my letters earlier, man. And like I said, man, that meant a lot to me. There's some good stuff in there, man, to where my team is going to be noticed and given an award at the Inner City Society Committee coming up here next week and everything. So I'll have me a little award somewhere behind me, somewhere put up. So I'll make sure I let everybody see that when we get it.
All right.
Oh, Jim, look, boy, y'all are crazy, boy.
I will tell.
What you did hanging around with us, man. You got all the wild dudes are hanging around.
I don't mind the wild one.
I'll when I finally can start marketing merch on my channel, I will have some of my euphemisms on drinking your own bathwater.
Yeah.
Being weaned on a sour pickle.
Before you need to. We'll talk in a little while. I'll help you with that stuff too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my wife, she's already ready. She already got her little cricket and thing ready.
Alrighty.
She already makes me shirts as it is because
I love it, man.
I threw away all my
get you guys on
stuff.
Fourth Wall. We got to get you on Fourth Wall.
Okay.
Fourth Wall. It's easy. It even makes a little website for you. Perfect. Easy stuff.
Yeah.
Coach Ricks, thanks for having me on, man.
No
Appreciate
problem, man. Hey,
Yeah,
you
thanks-
guys,
thanks
man,
for
are
having me
awesome,
on,
man.
Coach.
Horns down and the middle finger up in between. All right, man. I'll see you guys later, man.
The brand has finally returned. Fuck your brand.
Y'all have a good
Take
one.
care, fellas. Take care, babe.
Later.
All right.
Take care, buddy.